Hey guys, James here at TCGU University, coming back at you with another deck profile from our Campus Championship Series. This week we're going over the new Soul Calibur Libra of Souls characters, and I'm going to be showing you Travis's Azwel deck, Azwel 2-dot deck. So actually, I guess Azwel Stacker deck. So let him know what you guys think down in the comments below. I'm sure he'd love to see your comments, as well as let's get into it. Okay, guys, Azwel is a 720 with all Chaos Earth. He has two abilities, are twice per turn, discard one card after you make a check. That check gets +2, only playable if your opponent has 3 or more face down foundations. So you have to make sure your opponent flips a bunch of things. And then E, flip one foundation. If your attack is blocked, your opponent flips one foundation. If your attack is blocked, draw one card. So he replaces the attack that he had. So he can draw more cards if his attacks are blocked, but if they are blocked, your opponent flips. So you kind of want to put your opponent in a situation where they want to block. Let's get into the... Like I said at the beginning of the video, this is a stacker deck, so we have two Azwel 2-dots. Azwel 2-dot is a 631 character, so I don't know why that doesn't matter. He's sharing the all in chaos symbols. I believe our deck is, under all. E, your attack. Your opponent discards the top 3 cards of their deck. If no attacks were discarded this way, draw one card, and your opponent mills 5 more cards from the top of their deck. E, commit one foundation. Your opponent discards the top 3 cards of their deck. If all of those cards share the same control, this attack gets +6 or -6 damage. So you can super buff something, super neg something, as well as making sure our opponent just mills. So you can also mill your opponent out. Like I said, stacker deck. We're playing 3. Here we go. This has a 0, low block, breaker 2, 3 diff, 5 check that says attach a character from your discard pile to your staging area or add a character from your discard pile to your hand. It's very good. Make sure we get our stackers out. We're playing 3 Let's Cut Loose. Lets us draw a card, gives us defensive pieces, as well as bring down foundations during our attack step or during our attack turn, making things very, very strong. And then 1 palindrome. Palindrome says commit 1 foundation. Before the block step of this attack, return it to its printed speed and damage. Your opponent may flip 1 foundation to cancel this effect. So basically, we kind of make our opponent want to flip things to make sure that they deal damage. And if they don't deal damage. But if they do, we'll soon go off. Like I said, you've seen, we're stacking. So Affliction. Affliction is a 3 diff, 4 mid for 2 with breaker 1, gauge 2. Name a card, reveal the top card of your deck. If that is the card, if there's a copy of the name card on top of your deck, you draw a card, and then discard momentum, draw a card, reveal the top card of your deck. That's the better ability. You'll reveal one card, draw one. So you'll draw one card and reveal the top card of your deck, and then you'll name the card and then draw again. It's super strong as well as just trying to get our characters out. Sorry guys, there had to be a small cut there. So we're playing 3. Cryokinetic Assassination. Has save. It's a 4 mid for 5. If your opponent's a deadlock, it ignores progressive and gets +4 damage. And then E, if your attack is blocked, if your opponent blocks this attack, you'll draw a card and gain 2. If they don't, you deal 5 damage. It basically makes blocking super, super bad and make sure we push damage through. We're playing 3 from Science with Love. This is one of my favorite. We get to reveal this on our channel, but it's one of my favorites in general just because a 4 high for 5 that gets multiple X equal to the number of face down cards in your opponent's staging area is nuts. Especially when the other ability is E, add the top X cards of your deck to your momentum. X equals the number of assets in your staging area. Just says you build a bunch of assets and then it gets multiple. It's just sick. He's playing 1 asset. Why is... Man, Travis, what were you doing? There's 1 asset in this deck. You going to give him multiple 1? What? I'm confused. Ooh. I guess it still gets multiple X regardless. Okay, that makes sense. You still get multiple X regardless. I'm thinking these assets for both. I don't know why you want to play more assets, though, Travis. Learn. Tell Travis in the comments why you think he's bad for not having more assets. Or just don't be rude to Travis, please. But, so it's really strong. I think he should have had more assets, but, he had his own thing going. Then we're playing 3. There's a lot of shiny in this deck, so it's hard to tell sometimes which ones are what. I Shall Save Humanity. 5 mid for 7 is his weapon. It's a 5/2. E, add 1 asset that you can normally play from your discard pile to your staging area. Only playable if your opponent has 3 or more face down foundations. And then E, commit 2 assets. This attack gains powerful 10. This attack will never gain powerful 10. There are no assets in this deck but one. Again, I think he's missing an asset. It was probably taken out or something. Probably last second add, or he was supposed to add one and forgot. But the commit to give Powerful 10 is super, super cool. Super, super strong as well. If you have more assets, this will be more playable. But again, Travis had his own thing he was doing. We'll figure it out. And then we're playing 4 New Seong Styles Scarlet Meteor. This is, in my opinion, the best ultra rare from that set. From this set. It is a Breaker 2, Powerful 4, 1 mid block, 5 high for 5 div with a 3 control check. So much right there. There's so many keywords. Has good stats. It's crazy. And then it has 3 abilities. E, you may destroy assets in addition to discard momentum to pay for this attack's powerful ability. Man, that was a lot of words I couldn't get. R card, pull, destroy 1 asset after an action card is played. Cancel its effects. Destroy 1 foundation. Add 1 asset or foundation from your discard pile to your staging area. So basically, you can destroy a foundation, get your asset in, or a new foundation. I think that's sick. Getting to put any foundation you want, we'll get to those in a minute, into your staging area is just sick. As well as just being able to cancel action cards by destroying our 1 asset. As well as just having Breaker 2 on a 1 mid block. And Powerful 4 is just super, super nuts. Then we're playing 3 Nutcracker, obviously, because it's Travis deck, it has to play Nutcracker. It's a 4 for 4, it gets 4 damage versus male characters. Adds cards in. Most of the time you want it to be Sense of Morals to draw a card. Super, super strong. It also has a Breaker 2 on a 2 mid block. Super good. We're playing 1 We Are Mini, You Are About 1. It's a unique. Has 3 abilities. It's a 3/6 with a 2 mid block. E, check a 6. Your opponent discards momentum. Basically to slow our opponent down. R, destroy after you check a character card. Your opponent destroys 1 foundation. Super sick. It's a 1 for 1. And then E, once per turn, your opponent's starting character gains a symbol of your choice. You'll never use that ability. 3 Sense of Morals. Like I said, we add this with Nutcracker, as well as it just being stun deterrent and easy build on certain turns. It's just super good. 1 Wandering Pirate. This card raises itself on our opponent's turn, and it has a twice per turn response that says after it's committed or readied, you get to ready 1 other foundation. So if they stun us, you ready another one. When this raised during your opponent's turn, you ready another one. It just basically says you mostly always have at least 2 foundations up. 2 Funky Tomato. Or commit flip after your opponent plays an ability that would increase this attack's damage. Cancel its effects. Super strong. But to me, the commit flip has never been strong enough that I wanted to play it. It also has a 4 mid block, meaning that it's rarely usable in your hand as well. So that's my opinion. We're playing 4 The Key to Humanity's Freedom. It's a 2/5, no block. E, remove, add 1 asset that you can normally play from your discard pile to your staging area. Destroy that card during the end phase. And then E, twice per turn. Your attack gets +2 damage, only playable if you have 1 or more assets in your staging area. The free +2 damage is pretty sick. But again, he's playing 1 asset, and I think there might be missing assets from this deck. So I apologize. If there is, I'm going to add some quotations later, or maybe like in the description or something. But I don't know. We're playing 3 Telekinetic Mastery. Check a 6. Whenever an attack gets a speed or damage bonus, try to neg our opponent 2 speed or 2 damage for each one. So giving 2/2 gives us 2 triggers of this, and just trying to make it to where we can either block easier or take less damage. We're playing 3 Betrayer of 12. Or commit after the block step of your attack. If it was blocked, draw a card. If it was not blocked, your opponent flips 1 foundation. Super strong. Puts our opponent where we want them. And then E, destroy. Your opponent discards their entire momentum. Only playable if your opponent has 3 or more face down foundations. So again, we want our opponent at 3 face down foundations because that's where we start going to do things. We're playing 3 Radical Edward. After you check this, you can add a character to your hand, and then E, commit 1 asset or foundation in your opponent's staging area with a keyword on it. Basically, it's basically a 1 for 1, but it also commits assets, which is going to be very strong in this next coming format, and it picks up the characters to where we can either play them or block with them. 2 Shadow Inheritance. We do add assets. We do add foundations to our card pool, so being able to give plus checks or minus checks is very good. 1 Curious Magnetism. During our opponent's turn, we can switch the attack and speed values of the attack. super good. Make sure we just neg something super down, and then we switch them and make sure we take less, or we neg damage and flip it to where we can block easier. It's one or the other. One Hi-Fi Stereo, we add a lot of cards, so getting be able to use Hi-Fi Stereo is very, very good. Make our opponent discard. We're playing one True Identity, plus to our checks, and then play things easier. We do play a lot of high diff 5 checks or 5 attacks. Making sure we want to pass those is what we want. 1 Daughter of the Bladed Rod. E, once per turn. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Your opponent discards one of them. Put the rest on top in any order. And then Deadlock E, add one of your opponent's foundations to the bottom of their deck. Meaning you debuild your opponent at Deadlock. That's sick. 4 Never a Day Without Training. If we have at least one asset in our staging area, we draw. So if we build our one asset, we draw a card. If not, it's just a discard 1, draw 1, which is super good. As well as having a 2 low block. 3 Fei. Just make sure we neg speed to make sure we can block very well. Has a 3 low block in case we need it. It's a spam. It's really good. And then 3 A Worthy Vessel. It's a 1/5 of the 3 high block. E, remove. You can remove a card from either player's discard pile, and then once per turn, lose vitality. This attack is +2 or -2 damage. Make sure we hit harder or get hit less. Thanks again for checking out the profile, guys. If you want to support us, go to patreon.com/TCGU University. You'll get the podcasts early. You'll get all of that early. If you can't support us, don't worry. Just go to youtube.com. We'd love it if you would like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you to everybody that helped us get to 500 subscribers. If you liked Travis's Azwel deck, let him know down in the comments below. He'd love to read your comments. And as always, guys, stay learned.